My name is Hannah, and this is my year of less stuff. Hey y'all, I have some boxes to show you. I have 3 boxes with 3 different purposes, and this is the first one. This is my backups box, and I'm very proud to show it in this state because it didn't used to close before I decided to declutter and then proceeded to declutter this box, which I actually did before this video. In the video, I'm going to show you all the things that I decluttered from my backups box and tell you why I decided not to keep and test them. But I didn't want to do the whole thing on camera because I was just feeling kind of stressed out about it. So I did it first, and now I'm reporting back about it. It's still very full. I mean, this is a lot of stuff. When I counted my backups, if you watched my inventories at the beginning of the year, then you know this. When I counted my backups, the backups that were in this box at the beginning of the year, there were over 80 of them. It was like 86 backups or something. No wonder the box didn't close. So the number has gone down by many. We'll find out how many in a little bit, but it's still quite a lot. It's like skincare stuff, some backup mascaras and stuff like that, a bunch of sheet masks, and then some hair care products. That's pretty much what's going on in here. But it feels very organized and approachable at this point. I really took myself to task with how many I needed to have as backups of individual types of products. Like, as you'll see, I had face oils, although maybe after I did this, but before I filmed, I was doing something else and I was mulling about my stuff, and I was thinking that maybe I could let go of another face oil or two because they do take so long to get through. So I'm actually going to put this Wonder Face Oil in my giveaway box. And I'm also going to give away this Good Molecules cold pressed rose hip seed oil. I'll talk about my reasoning with those things when I go through the box of things that I'm giving away. But that's the kind of thing that I've been doing lately. I've been like, how many exfoliating treatments do I really need? If there are 3 or 4 in the backups box, I was like, I can maybe just keep 1 or 2. So I did that. This is what's left. It's still a lot, but it feels much better than it did. This is the box of stuff that I decided not to keep. And then the other box I want to show you is this is a Priority Mail large size box. It's a flat rate box, meaning that no matter what you put in here, no matter how much it weighs, it will cost the same amount to send. It's just based on the size and shape of the box and not based on the weight. I love a flat rate box for shipping things because I don't have to worry about the stuff I'm putting in there. I just know exactly how much it's going to cost in advance. It's never a surprise when I get to the post office, and I'm going to use this box. I'm going to fill this box and send it to Project Beauty Share. And I actually will go ahead and talk about Project Beauty Share a little bit right now at the beginning of the video in case you don't make it to the end when I actually pack up the box, because it's just a good thing for people to know about. This isn't sponsored or anything. I mean, I don't think Project Beauty Share sponsors videos. It's nothing like that. It's just something that I want to do. I donate a lot of beauty products, and I actually happen to live in an area where there are a lot of resources for that. I live in downtown Los Angeles. There's a Skid Row here. There are a lot of women's shelters and other kind of facilities for the homeless. So it's never been hard for me to find a way to donate. But I thought that it might be a good idea to go through the motions of donating in the way that I would do if I didn't live in a place where it was so easy for me to donate in person. Just to show that to you guys, show that it's an option, show how easy it is. It's as easy as just grabbing a big flat rate box like this. I think that this box costs less than $20 to mail, which I'm more than happy to pay to donate to this organization. So I'm looking at the Project Beauty Share website. On their homepage, it says Project Beauty Share provides personal hygiene, cosmetics, and beauty products to nonprofit organizations who serve women and families overcoming abuse, addiction, homelessness, and poverty to help restore hope and dignity in their lives. So it's not like one place where then they give the products from there. They take the products and they sort them, and then they place the products in a huge number of different organizations, shelters, etc. When you go to their list on their website of all of the different shelters that they work with, it is vast. So they're basically acting as a sorting and then a distribution center for these kinds of donations. Then the second paragraph says, women who are poverty-stricken or women in transition cannot afford these luxury items. That's a quote from Julie Farley, the founder of Project Beauty Share. A lot of what we do, she says, is about health and hygiene, but really it's about dignity. Project Beauty Share wants to help women regain their dignity and get back on their feet. I love this because she's pointing out that there's more to this kind of recovery than just like getting a place to live, getting money, like just getting the resources that you need. And I'm really glad to be able to share this quote because towards the beginning of the year when I was talking about the fact that I'm still going to be receiving PR and that because I'm doing a year of less stuff, that might mean that if I get 10 liquid lipsticks, I don't use liquid lipsticks. So I might test one to talk about the formula, but then I'm going to give all of the rest away. So with PR coming in and going out, because I'm trying to retain as little as possible, it's kind of this like pass through. My life and my channel are going to become a bit more of a pass through for product than they have ever been before, and I'm going to be showing that to you. So in order to assuage any concern about that, I said at the beginning of the year in my intro video, I was like, you know, I'm going to be donating a lot of stuff, so it's actually, I see it as kind of a good thing to be able to be a pass-through from brands which have a lot of money and resources to women like the women that Project Beauty Share helps, women who are in need. And I saw a comment from someone saying that products like this don't help women in need, that what they need. I mean, I don't remember specifically how detailed the comment was, but the comment was basically saying, I don't see how beauty products help women in need, help women who are homeless, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm glad that there's this quote from Julie Farley pointing out that there is something really important about anything, any kind of self-care product that can help with the building up of a person's sense of efficacy. And beauty can really have a lot to do with that, especially for women. If you've been beaten down, if you're struggling, if you don't really feel like yourself, if you don't really feel like you have your powers and your resources, being able to put yourself together is a kind of power. But if you can't even afford to pay your bills, then you definitely can't afford to buy the products that you would need to enact that power. So donating to women who are in need, women who are in transition out of really difficult situations, donating this kind of product, it's not everything. It doesn't solve every problem, but it does definitely help. And I wanted to make that really, really clear in this video by talking about Project Beauty Share and by showing how easy it is to donate just by sending a box in the mail. So I'm going to be doing that at the end of this video after I go through and talk about all of the things that I let go of from my backups box. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, I'm just going to go through in no particular order from the things that are on the top. This is a little sample packet of the Fab 4 Take Me to Tahiti 1 minute moisture hair mask with Manoi oil. Manoi oil, Manoi oil. Say Manoi oil 5 times fast. I feel like I could do it. Manoi oil, Manoi oil, Manoi oil, Manoi oil, Manoi oil. Did you hear that? I do not really condition my hair, and there were a number of hair conditioning products in the backups box, and the other ones were in little tubes. There were actually 2 other ones that were in little tubes that were multi-use. And I was like, I don't need 3 deep conditioning hair products because I don't even like to deep condition my hair that often. I feel like it makes it too silky. I do like to do it every once in a while to keep it from getting too dried out and to help kind of mend split ends and stuff like that. But if I was going to keep 2 out of the 3, I wasn't going to keep the single-use packet one because there's too much in here to use one time, and then it would be like sitting there opened but not used up, and I wouldn't want to use it again the very next time I washed my hair. So it doesn't make very practical sense for me, and I feel like this is a nice thing to be able to donate. I got this in PR at some point. It's a pad. It's an organic cotton pad, like panty liner pad. This is a particularly nice thing to be able to donate. Project Beauty Share does accept like loose and individual period products for women. That's the kind of thing that it's my impression that homeless shelters, women's shelters particularly need this kind of thing. I actually kind of wish I had more of this kind of thing to give, and I'm thinking about the next time I'm out just like buying a box of tampons, like buying a box of pads to include in the box the next time that I send something to Project Beauty Share. If you do decide to send a box to Project Beauty Share, this is the kind of thing that's really appreciated, and if you have extra boxes of this lying around, then I'd say go ahead and stick them in. This is all that I really have, so I'm going to include that too. There's this little sample that someone sent to me of the Pendulum Potion, which I think is from May Lindstrom, and I just it's just so, I have so many full-size bottles of face oils, and this is like a little sample. I'm gonna give it away and just use my full-size bottles. This is a very nice oil, the one from Good Molecules that I just decided to yank, but it's the same thing. I'm like, I have so many. I have a couple sitting on my vanity, and there are several in the back of this box that I really do want to try. I have tried this. It's very lightweight, it's very nice, but I don't love it and feel excited about it enough to keep it instead of donating it when I already have so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that one away too. Project Beauty Share does accept opened things if they're sanitary. So like open skincare products if they're like in pumps or in dropper bottles or something like that. You can't donate something that you've used like a doe foot to dip into, and they're very clear on their website about everything that they do accept and the way that things have to be for them to accept them. So you can go through and find all of that information. Unopened things I think are the best. This is an unopened sample size of another face oil. It's the Haru Wonder Black Rice Face Oil. Same thing. I'm giving away sample sizes of things. This is that Rimmel Mascara from the Purgatory box. I decided not to open and use it. On that video, many of you commented that this had been in a lot of Beauty Guru's worst products of the year videos, and that's enough to convince me that it's not worth trying it, and I'm glad to be able to donate an unopened mascara. Here's another mascara. Again, it's a sample size. So this is the Hourglass Kashun Mascara sample. I think I actually got this as a point perk from Sephora back when I was like, I'd love to have a backup of that, blah, 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 blah. It's fine. It's great for lengthening and building, but I don't actually really love this totally on its own. If I didn't have any backup mascara at all, then I would keep this, but I do. So I'm donating it. The Glossier Color Slide in blue. This was given to me at BeautyCon. It's not called blue though. It's called Adult Swim. I thought about keeping this, but I have a blue and a green, like really bright blue and a really bright green liner from Linda Halberg, like really beautiful products. I just don't use them that often. So even though I don't have anything quite like this, I feel much more excited about the idea of giving it away. I had a backup in my backups box of the Babe Lash Essential Lash Serum, and I struggle. I have one open that I'm using. Why did I want to keep another one? It was an extra party favor from Simbri's party. I don't know why I was thinking that I should keep it, because I struggle so hard to use lash and brow serum to begin with. It's like really hard for me to remember to incorporate it in my routine. I will be a true hero if I make it through the 2 different ones that I'm trying to use right now. So I don't need a backup of that. There are a couple of other products that I had as like extra doubles from Simbri's party. There were party favors in Simbri's party, and I have more than just the one that I kept for myself. I had 2 backups of the Kula Mineral Sun Silk Cream. I kept these because I really like this sunscreen, or at least I really liked it when I started trying it. The thing that deters me about it is the price. So I was like, as long as I have these, I might as well keep them and then just use them, and then I won't have to buy my own sunscreen. But I actually have grown a little bit less impressed with the sunscreen than I was at the beginning, because if my skin is dry at all, it will cling. It will cling and make like a white spot on the edges of the dry patches on my face. When my skin is really moisturized and plump, then it looks beautiful. These days I've been going like in between having dryness, a little bit of like bumps and acne and stuff, and it just doesn't sit well on my skin. It's not as cosmetically elegant as I thought it was when I am having any kind of skin issue like that. So I don't need all of these backups. I'm going to give these away. This is also such a great thing to be able to donate. Totally unopened, really nice mineral sunscreen. I went ahead and ordered a replacement for my Erin's Faces sunscreen because I had pretty much run out of it, and I was leaning on that Kula one that I had from the party, and then I was just like, I don't like this as much. I really want my Erin's Faces back. I also had some extras of this Vike makeup melt that were extra party favors from Simbri's party. I had one, I used it, I didn't like it. It was already in my empties, like I used it up, and I really don't want these other ones sitting around, so I'm going to donate those. I have these 2 travel sizes of the lotion P50, but it's not the one that I use, and somebody sent these to me. April sent these to me actually, and I used them. I used one because I think I was either traveling or I was just curious if it would have like a different effect on my skin. Yeah, mine's the purple. Mine's the 1970. It's the purple. And these are both the blue. And they felt harsh. They felt harsh on my skin. And it was around that same time that I tried one of these out that my skin started to sort of lose its barrier and get disrupted and kind of like shiny and weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these away. The other thing is I've had this bottle now for like 2 years almost, and it's about 2/3 of the way empty. Like I don't need a backup of this because I don't see myself finishing it up even like within the year. I use it very little bit at a time, and I also don't use it every single day. I just use it a couple of times a week, so that's why it's lasting so long. This is the night cream from One Kind. Simber gave this to me. I was keeping it because I was like, I love a night cream, but it's in a jar, and I'm just over it. I'm over the jar packaging for night cream. I have a feeling it would just be yet another decently performing night cream that I'm trying my darndest to get through so that I can buy the ones that I want. So I'm just going to donate that one. These little samples of makeup eraser, little like just like little shreds of makeup eraser samples. I tried one and I didn't really love it. It wasn't bound around the edges because it was just a sample and it was kind of messy. I don't need those. Oh, this is interesting because I thought I really, really wanted to try this product. It's the Liquid Gold Glycolic Acid Serum by Alpha H. It's an overnight exfoliating treatment. It's like a treatment liquid or a treatment serum, kind of like what Good Genes does is what it's supposed to do. And it's glycolic acid based, and I know that glycolic acid is really good for my skin, really good for acne prone skin, and good for exfoliation. So I was like, ooh, liquid gold, but I was saving it until I didn't have so many exfoliating treatments sitting on my vanity. I was going to try to use some of them up and then try it out. But when I was going through my backups box, I looked at the ingredients list, and denatured alcohol is the second ingredient. Girl, no. This is another one that I thought I really, really wanted, but that got kicked out because of the ingredients list. This is a stunning product. It's by Jurlique. It's a limited edition facial spray. And you better believe I was like really focused on finishing up some of the sprays that were sitting on my vanity so that I could unveil this and put it on my vanity and use it. But then I checked the ingredients list and it has, if I remember correctly, a bunch of, oh, I see what it is. So water is the first ingredient, polyglyceryl laurate is the second ingredient, then glycerin, and the third ingredient is fragrance. It's very high on the ingredients deck because then there are a bunch of other ones, but almost all of the other ones are flower extracts and essential oils, and then it also has linalool, cinnamyl alcohol, limonene, all of those like fragrant essential oil ingredients that Hiram is always talking about, how they're not great for your skin and they can sensitize your skin over time. I have always been kind of like living on the edge with fragrance in my skincare and essential oils in my skincare. I've kind of been like feeling invincible, like I'm not sensitive to them. My skin tends to really like essential oils, which I've really been taking it more seriously lately, that there are short-term benefits to essential oils, but long-term risks. As I get older and as I deal with occasional sort of like disruptions and irritation on my skin, I'm starting to want to be a little bit more careful about that. So it's not necessarily because of the linalool and limonene that's at the very end of the ingredients deck on this. I think if it was just that, I would be okay with trying it. But the fact that fragrance, perfume is the fourth ingredient in this like face spray makes me not want to use it. I would always feel a little bit worried and a little bit like it wasn't that great. Also, full disclosure, I did spray it on my face once just to see if the experience was so luxurious that I was willing to overlook everything, and it smelled like candy and I didn't really like that either. So I want to give that one away. This I thought I would really want to keep and use is the Paula's Choice Peptide Booster with amino acids. Two things. One, there are peptides in my Aaron's Faces sunscreen, and for that reason, I don't feel pressured to have peptides in the rest of my skincare. That's one of the reasons I really love the Aaron's Faces sunscreen. So I'm resisting adding like a simple, like a pure peptide serum, like a separate peptide booster like this. I'm resisting adding it because I just don't need an extra step when I already have that ingredient in something that I put on my face every day. And then also the second ingredient is dimethicone. So if I'm using like a booster, if I'm mixing it in, I'm going to be layering it into my skincare. And I don't really like putting dimethicone in the middle of my skincare routine because I feel like it then blocks everything that I put on top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that on. This is a full unopened herbal toner from the Organic Pharmacy. And toner It's another thing that it kind of annoys me. Like I feel like I don't know, I have an essence right now. It's a spray though, so it would probably have been a little bit easier to incorporate into my routine. It feels very luxurious, and I really liked the other products I tried from the organic pharmacy, so I was very tempted to keep this. But then again, it was like looking at the ingredients. Witch hazel is very high on the ingredients list. That's like the main toning ingredient that's in here. I just don't feel that gung-ho about witch hazel as like an active ingredient on my skin. I feel like it's drying. Like, isn't that the thing? It's like a quick fix for acne, but it can be drying over time. I'm not super against it. There's nothing in here that I looked at and I was like, oh yeah, like that's going to be really great for my skin. That's an ingredient that I know my skin really loves. Like, it doesn't have stuff like squalane and niacinamide and like the kinds of things that I would like to see in like a toner or a serum. And then what it does have is like a ton of plant extracts, flower extracts, and then at the end, all that same stuff like citrus oil, lemon peel oil, limonene, citral. I just don't feel like it would be anything but like an experiential skincare product. And again, because I'm sending this box off, because it is so nice and it's totally unopened and unused, I think I can add that into the box. This is a gel to milk cleanser from Yangu Beauty that I used a little bit of, and then I put it in the backups box because I had other cleansers going. I just didn't really like it that much. I didn't really like how it smelled. I didn't feel like it was that effective at removing like all of my makeup. And so I feel like I can go ahead and pass it along, even though it's a little bit used, because it's in a bottle like this where it's like a squeeze bottle, so you're not like dipping anything into it. I think I can still donate it. Lash curler, this came in PR. It's the Shu Uemura lash curler. I never curl my lashes. This is a backup that I had of the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm. I've had this for a really long time, and I had the original Gloss Balm, which is what this is. I used it all the way up, and then I got another color as a gift, and I started using it, the color Fussy. I just don't need to. I have way more glosses than I used to have. I have a lot that I really like. I'm not going to get through Fussy anytime soon, and this is unopened and unused, so I'm excited to be able to give this away. This is the Tarte Clay Pot. This was a gift. It is a very beautiful product. It's like a really gorgeous, thick, creamy, like eyeliner that you use with a brush. I just don't really use stuff like that, and I don't feel compelled to keep it. I don't think I can donate this because I don't think that it's sanitary, but I'm going to give it away to someone at some point. And that is it. Those are all the things that were in this box that I decided not to keep in my backups box. There are things that I haven't used but that I think I can do without ever using and ever trying. I'm going to go ahead and pack up my box for Project Beauty Share. I'm going to be putting everything from the group of products that I just talked about into that box, and then I'm also going to be going through my giveaway box and my box of things that I recently decluttered, and I'm going to see if there's anything in those two boxes that I can also add in to fill up this box to send in the mail. Okay, I'm back. I did it. And I realized that I forgot to count all of the things that I had taken out of my backups box before I went ahead and started packing them in. So I realized that because when I started packing the box, I'll show it to you. Oh, it's heavy. I'm really glad this is flat rate. When I started packing the box, I started pulling things also from like my other backups box, my box of things that I recently decluttered, just everything that I had around that is like looking for a home that I felt like I could send. And so it all got mixed together, and then I was like, oh no, I forgot to count it. So I had to take everything out and count specifically just the things that I am taking out of my backups box, because those things were all inventoried at the beginning of the year, so that all counts as stuff out. That was my stuff, those are my belongings, and I'm giving them away so they're no longer my belongings. So I counted 24 items, 24 stuff out items from my backups box, and I went ahead and marked 24 items on my little sheet right here. And then there was one extra that I didn't show you because it was just like something icky that I decided to throw away. So it was actually 25. So I'm really making progress in leaps and bounds with stuff out this year. That's exciting. As for the box, I wanted to share kind of some of my experience putting the box together. There were some things that I felt like I shouldn't include and that I was a little bit unsure about. They're very clear on the website about what they do and don't take. So the things that they don't take most of the things that I came across that I knew that they would not take were opened pots of things. So if you have a face cream in a jar, or like that eyeliner that's in a jar style package, if that's opened and used, then they can't take it because they can't sanitize that. But they can take things that have been used that are in pumps or spray bottles, things like that. Mascara, of course, has to be unused. Lip products of any kind have to be unused. So even though bullet lipsticks, I can sanitize them pretty easily just by like wiping off the top or chopping off the top when I give them to friends and family. You can't do that when you're donating to Project Beauty Share. So I didn't put any lip products in this box. All of the makeup brushes that I recently decluttered are clean. It says must be new or clean on the website. I cleaned them all very, very thoroughly. So those all went in here. There are some used things like half-used foundations that were given to me by friends to test that were in my giveaway box. And those, I cleaned them up and then I put them all in here. I was a little bit worried about including certain skincare items that I thought might leak. The things that are brand new or things I'm able to seal really tightly, I'm not too worried about. So everything I was worried about leaking, I put into a Ziploc bag and I put that in here. And then I did include some powder products, and I was a little bit worried about breakage because one thing I've learned from receiving gifts in the mail, both from brands and from friends and subscribers, is that powder products, if they're not packaged correctly, are really prone to breaking. So for that reason, I didn't throw a bunch of eyeshadow palettes in here. I do have a couple of just lightly used eyeshadow palettes in my giveaway box, but I didn't put them in here. I did decide that I thought I could safely package some compacts of powder. So all of my recently decluttered highlighters and blushes are in here. That includes those two Givenchy products. I feel really good about giving them away to someone who is like at a hard time in her life. I wrapped them really tightly in this bubble wrap thing from Glossier, so I'm hoping that they won't break. I'm hoping that they'll make it safely. I feel like a couple of layers of bubble wrap is the best thing you can do when you're sending powder products. So some highlighters, some blushes. I actually did put one little mini eyeshadow palette that was very gently used in here as well because it fit well, and I feel confident that it will arrive unbroken. But really the majority of what's in here are brand new skincare products in their boxes. So the setting sprays I recently got from Urban Decay, a couple of serums, and a spray that I recently got from Derma E, things like that that I'm not using, those toner sprays, etc., etc. Most of that is what is in here. And lastly, just for your reference, in case you're thinking about doing this, of course, if you are going to do this, I recommend looking at the website and having the guidelines on hand when you do it. But they have a very clear makeup guidelines section that says these makeup items are not acceptable. And then there's a list. So things with a wand, loose powders that aren't sealed, cream products like cream eyeliners, eyeshadows, blushes, bronzers, anything like that. Liquid foundations in screw top foundation or screw top bottles, and cream foundations or pot foundations that have been used or swatched. So I still have that Kevyn Aucoin Balm foundation in my giveaway box, and I couldn't put that in here because it's like an open container of foundation, and I've tried it, I've used it. And then it says just any lip products that have been used at all. Then they say these makeup items are acceptable but must be barely used. Pressed eyeshadows, pressed blush, bronzers, and highlighters. So all of the ones that I put in here are in beautiful condition, and pretty much all of the product is still in there. Even that blush that I've had for quite a long time, the one from Givenchy, it's still, there's not even like the barest dip in it. So that's acceptable. It says eyeliners and lip liners. I didn't have any of those to give away, but they have to be the type that you can sharpen. Totally understand that. And then liquid foundations in airless pump containers, that's the kind that I put in. Squeeze tube foundations as well. So airless pump containers like this one, squeeze tube foundations, that's what this is. So I was hoping to go ahead and like tape this box up on camera and be like, yay, it's ready to go. But I think that I want to press some bubble wrap in on top of this just to make absolute sure that nothing like shifts around and breaks or spills or anything in transit. And the bubble wrap that I have with which to do that is at my studio. And I'm actually going to be shipping this from the studio because we are able to buy postage and print postage from there, and so I'll be taking it over there to stick the postage on the box, and then we'll be giving it to our mailman when he comes by when I'm at work next week. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave this open for now so that I can add the bubble wrap in right before I seal it up and put the postage on it. Of course, if you don't print your postage at home, if you don't buy and print your postage at home, you can just take a flat rate box like this to the post office and just buy the postage like normal and send it off that way. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching my video. video about the things that I decided not to keep in my backups box. I feel like things are much more streamlined now in terms of what is hanging around waiting to be used. I feel less burdened by the backups box, especially because since I weeded it out, I was also able to organize it more and I can really see everything that's in there. I feel like I even know everything that's in there. It didn't used to be that the backups box was really in my makeup mind palace. It was just like this secret box of stuff that I would sometimes go into, and then I would be like, oh yeah, I forgot this is in there. At this point, I kind of feel like it's in the makeup mind palace, like everything's been absorbed into my stuff and the stuff that I know I have, the stuff that I know is at my disposal. So I'm very much hoping that the backups box doesn't get overgrown beyond how it is now. But let me know if you liked this enough that you would want to see me do it again. Like, is it motivating enough? Is it interesting enough that you would want to see me like pack up a box and send it to Project Beauty Share once a month, or every 2 months or something like that? Or if this feels like it's just sort of one-time only content. Let me know what you think. The other really cool thing that I wanted to mention is that it's not only my backups box that has been thoroughly weeded, but my giveaway box. The box of things that I have that I'm always sort of like trying to find a place to put them. Like, if ever I meet a friend, I'll take a little bag of things to give to her, and when I see Simbri and Lauren, I'll like go through the backups box and see if there's anything I think they might want and take it to give to them. I have this, like, not the backups box, but the giveaway box. I have this box of stuff that I'm constantly giving away, and it's been pretty full. I was able to pull so many things out of that giveaway box and put them in the box for Project Beauty Share. And so at this point, I feel like I'm making amazing progress at giving away my giveaways, because the box, it was kind of overfull, and now it's really not. It's really like down to the dregs. So that's exciting as well. And that is it. I am going to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think. I hope that you enjoyed this one. And I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.